What's up, you guys? It's Ali. Welcome back to my channel, Where's Ollie? I am your global eccentric slow mat, and I'm out here traipsing around solo. Just turned 52. Grateful for that, and sharing my journey with you so that first you can see the world through my travels, and for many who have expressed an interest in doing the same or something similar and don't know how to get started, or you've already been traveling but you don't know how to take that extra step. So I'm here to help you get from no travel, touristing travel, traveler, nomader, expat. So help you along this journey wherever you may want to start, wherever you're starting, wherever you may want to end. All this information is relevant, so I'm here for you. But today, you guys, this is a follow-up to a live video, Facebook video I did at the beginning of December, and one of the requests that you guys had, pardon me for squinting, you guys can see the sun, but part of the video was about, or I asked you guys what are the topics you guys want to hear about. A lot of people said Europe, some people said visas, vaccinations, my lock journey, different countries that I visited, wanting to know more about those and things like that. And since I am currently in Europe, I thought I'd fulfill the Europe request as well as the visa question that was asked, and then talk a little bit about some of the fantastic things that make Europe. One is the coffee. And don't get it twisted. This is not what you're gonna get when you go into a coffee shop and ask for a latte, a macchiato, americano, a cappuccino. It's not what you're gonna get. It's gonna be like this big with this much in it. But we'll talk about that later. All right, you guys, first of all, I want to just thank everybody who sent well wishes for my cycle around the sun. I am a balmy and fantastic 52 and happy about it. I'm going on 4 years on this, I'm coming up to 4 years of this nomadic journey. While it was not necessarily planned out, it is in full flourish mode now, and I am extremely happy and not looking back at all, except to welcome others to join in this life. And I just want to share this with you guys because I'm doing it solo right now. I got a travel bestie with me. If anybody knows what I normally do in December and who I travel with, that's what I'm traveling with right now. Normally I am solo dolo, and I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. There are many people out here doing this, making this walk, doing this talk, whatever, and loving it and thriving. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you where I've been. I could tell you where I'm planning to go, and you find your fit within that. And the thing is even where I've been, if I want to do something different, it doesn't mean that what I did was wrong or would be wrong for you. So this is when you have to take some discernment. Like a lot of times when you listen to different people's journeys of whatever that journey may be, just keep in mind that we're all slightly different. Our goals are slightly different. What it is that we're looking to achieve may be slightly different. So make it fit into the life that you're trying to live. So let's just quickly chat about visas. Okay, so I think this is so fitting because I happen to be in a place that I've got two things to keep track of. Okay, having, first of all, a U.S. passport. Oh, and before I get started, if you guys haven't already subscribed, click that subscribe button, you guys. Click the notification bell so you know when I'm going live or when I post a video like this one, and posts and shorts, because I do a lot of shorts and kind of share my journey click those buttons, you guys. That helps support my channel, as well as get this information past my current supportive, always there family to newbies who are interested in this journey as well. Okay, we want to share and share alike. Anyway, so y'all, I got the blue passport, the blue book, which I'm keeping because I earned that. If you guys watch my videos, you know how I feel about my earnings. I'm gonna keep that right now. And our passport allows us pretty much access almost into every country. During COVID, we had dropped down. We don't have the #1 passport anymore. I think it's Singapore country. I haven't looked. There is a website. I have all that information actually in my travel course, shameless plug. So if you would like to grace me or bless me with a belated birthday gift, please go and sign up for my travel course. It is Teachable, and it is along the lines of what we're talking about here: how to get started, information you need to know, things that you need to check, because a lot of times we get out here and we don't even know, oh crap, I needed a visa to come here. Especially if you're booking your own travel. If you have a travel agent, they should be filling, oh, make sure my mic is on, they should be filling the gaps for you and telling you that information, right? But if you are booking your own travel like I am, and you're wanting to go to different places, there are some countries that, even though you know, we have access to them being U.S. citizens or holding a U.S. passport, sometimes we do have to apply for a visa. It's not visa on arrival, meaning that you walk in and because you have a blue passport, that is your visa. Sometimes we physically have to apply, and we have to send that in days before, or there's processes in order to do that, or sometimes you can apply when you arrive at your destination airport. Usually you will find out either the easy way or the hard way when you get to your departure airport and they don't let you board because you don't have a visa. Most of them will check, okay? So you don't want to leave it up to other people. You want to make sure you have the information. So my first rule of thumb, and this again is in a module, so I'm not going to go into great detail because you can get all the information there, but the first rule of thumb I always say is Google. Google isn't 100% accurate, but it at least will get you to official sites, meaning official country sites, as well as the US.gov official site for immigration and things like that. So if you just type in, let's say you're wanting to come to Europe, and you pick a specific country, because you can't just say Europe, because every single country has different rules. So that's the first thing I'm going to, or second thing I'm going to share with you guys. Google, and then know which country you're wanting to visit, or the number of countries. If you're a first-time traveler and you're only taking like a 5 to 10 2-week vacation, you really won't have to worry unless you're going to a place that requires you to apply for a visa in advance. But for the most part, we can enter in a European country because I'll traipse around a few without even applying for a visa. So that's fantastic. Now the tough part comes in, how long can you stay? And if you're wanting to, if you're in between that tourist to traveler to nomad stage, and you like, I got 90 days, you know, I have 6 months. You may not be able to stay 6 months. And not only may you not be able to stay 6 months in one country, you may not be able to stay an entire region for 6 months. And that's the critical thing about traveling through Europe. Europe has the EU, and then they also have this smaller pocket, about 27 countries, that Schengen. I think it's Schengen. I always say Shenzhen, but someone said it's not G. And what you need to know about that is you can stay 90 days in any of the European countries, including those Schengen, but you can only stay 90 days in a 180-day period. So every 6 months you can only stay 90 days unless we have a bilateral agreement. I haven't figured out the bilateral agreement, so if you're a person who is well aware of that, Italy and Greece are two places that we have a bilateral, U.S. citizens have a bilateral agreement with, which means that we can extend for another 90 days, but then I don't know how that resets with the 180. So that's something I can't share right now. I'm going to be digging more into that since I'm over here, and I kind of like it over here. So, but keep in mind, you have to count your days, and I always subtract 1 or 2. So beginning and end, because they don't start. Let's say if you arrive at 11 p.m. on a certain day, no, that's a full day. Okay, you can't start the next day. Even if you arrive at 1 a.m., it's like a full day. So I usually subtract 2 so you don't even have to worry about going over your limit. Some places are a little bit lenient. Some officers are a little bit more lenient. Some charge a fee if you're late and overdue. Sometimes they can, you know, decide, you know what, we're going to ban you for 6 months. I don't know. Things have happened to other people, but I would just say keep track of your time so that you don't run into those kinds of situations, right? So with Europe and the Schengen countries, you need to know where you're traveling, how long you're going to be, and whether or not you can bop in and out. And if you are going to be kind of seasoned, you're a more seasoned traveler and you're moving around like me, that'll be an off conversation, because then we start talking about, well, where do I want to spend seasons? So it's winter season now, it's off season, so it's cheaper. Want to be in Europe, but I have to account for the fact that I've already been in Schengen countries starting in September. 1 day here, 11 days here, this and that. So I have to count it all out. And I also want to reset quicker. So I'd actually like to go ahead and get my full 90 days in as quickly as possible so that I can reset 90 outside of the country and then come back if I want to. One of the things I will share with you is there's a group of countries, the Balkan countries, which is where I started in Albania. And there's one country in particular that has a 12-month visa-free on arrival for U.S. citizens. Can you guys guess which country? I've said it a couple times in different videos. So if you've been following me, you already know. I'll hold that until the end and let you guys figure that one out. But knowing which countries, border countries, allow you to kind of pop in and you could spend some time and, you know, maybe do a month here, 2 months there, or a month in 3 different places and then circle back around, because now you're done with your 180 days. You can restart your 90-day cycle again. That's important to know. So that's Europe. That's this small cluster, and pretty much anything you go into kind of show you that list. And as countries are added, they update the list, and it's really easy to find. Really just go to the year you're looking for and you'll see that. Another thing to know is that Europe in 2025 will institute the ETIA, I think it's what it's called, which is the electronic visa form. So some countries like Korea and I believe Japan have this. U.S. citizens, I didn't need it this year. They kind of waived it for U.S. citizens, but what it is it's like kind of electronic visa form, and basically you fill it out before you enter, and it's another tracking form, I believe, and it's basically going to cost you €7, which is going to be about $8, $8.20 or something like that for U.S. citizens starting in 2025. From what I understand, it was supposed to roll out in 2024, but they could not get everything instituted in time, so it is supposed to roll out in 2025. Just know that, because up until that point, we didn't need anything to enter. This you're going to have done before you go. From my understanding, it takes from minutes to within a day. If it takes any longer than that, you definitely want to reach out, from what I understand. Okay, things may change before January of 2025, so definitely check back, because I surely will have some updates for you guys. Other countries, every country, as I mentioned, has a different visa requirement, and you want to be aware of that. You want to know that where you're going, you either get 15 days, 30 days, 25 days, 60 days, 6 months, a year, or do you get a year and you have to apply for something else? What other things do I need? I'll talk about vaccinations in another video. But it's important that you know this. And like I said, my course talks more about the visa process and where you can go and look to get that visa information. I always push you to official country sites, because no one can tell you better than that embassy or that country's official site. And it'll usually say official site. And you do want to be leery of some of those, because there are mock-up and fake sites. I'll share one more thing about visas before I move on. Interestingly, it's hot, y'all. It's been like chilly, and I am out here sweating bullets. So be mindful of the types of sites you're going on. I usually look for .gov or the country initials following the site. If it's a .com site, look for official in the title, or go to the us.gov site and type in the country you're wanting to visit, and they'll give you that information and the appropriate link to go to. So that's a little tidbit for you. The other little nuance that I want to share about visas, specifically in Europe, we're going to backtrack just a little bit. This is part of kind of the European discussion I was going to have today, just chatting about little different things here, but I want to share this because it's part of the visa process. Is it could be very confusing. A lot of countries are getting to the point where they're no longer stamping. You know, we love a stamp in our passport. Well, a lot of countries are no longer stamping. They're going to an electronic pass-through. Singapore has it. Korea has it. No, Korea doesn't have it. I think they have it when you enter, but they put a sticker. They put a sticker on you. They have it when you exit, but they put a sticker on when you enter. Because I have a sticker for Japan and Korea, which I actually like because you can actually read it rather than the stamp. So they've graduated to the sticker. There are certain places that we are allowed to enter and visit and stay for a certain amount of time, and certain places that don't actually give you a stamp. You go through the automated lines, right? So you don't get a stamp, you don't get anything. That's why it's important for you to keep a little spreadsheet or a little counter, whatever it is that you're doing, to track your days, the number of days that you're in a place. That also is confusing, which I talked about in another video, when you're traveling, like hopping between these European countries. The Schengen visa allows the countries that are in that grouping, that 27 countries, to, it's basically borderless. They can go as much as they please. So I'm going to tell you something that was really interesting and cool. Is I went from Albania to Italy, well, Albania to Greece, back to Albania to Italy, back to Albania to Italy, directly to Greece. So I went from Italy to Greece, and our trip, our flight from Italy to Greece, we did not have to pass through immigration. No check at all. And my assumption is because they're all in that family. The Albania part, because Albania is not part of that grouping, is likely why we have to do little stamps and all of that. So that was fantastic. And it's somewhat confusing because we walk down, it's like, okay, are we in the right place? So I say that, just share that little tidbit because that just happened a few days ago. You want to be sure that you at least know the places that you're trying to go to, have an interest in, right? So you can at least do your homework at least 5 to 7 days in advance. Make sure you're doing your homework before you come, and find out, this is not about visas, but it is related to visas, is know which countries are going to ask you for an onward ticket. And we can talk more about that in another video. I actually have a video on YouTube. Again, if you follow my wheresali nomadic journey set of videos, you'll actually see that, and I talk about how to get onward tickets. There's a couple different ways that you can do that. One is completely free, and one charges you a fee. Some places are iffy depending on which guide or officer you get or which airline you're flying. But I talk about that in detail on that video, so check that out. Because you can go somewhere and you don't have an onward ticket and you'll freak out because you're like, I want to buy $1,000 ticket. There's a way around that. You guys know, I know a way. Okay, so make sure you check out my YouTube to get that information, because I don't want to get too far off track. So anyway, the visa process, and that's just Europe. I will give you one example outside of the European grouping. I'll give you two. One is for Asia. I was in, like I said, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, and Singapore this year. I think those are my Asian countries, and I popped into Laos for a border run, so we can count that 7 Asian countries. Each one of them has a different rule and requirement. Each one. Some you have to apply for a visa before, others you do not. Some we get 30 days, other ones you get 90 days. So we can go more into detail if anybody's interested in Southeast Asia. Okay, that's one. And then Africa, I've been in 5 countries in Africa, and three that I've been to on the east side require a visa. One country allows us as U.S. citizens to have a visa for a year, but we still have to exit the country every 90 days. On the west side, I didn't have to apply for a visa at all. I went to 2 countries and we were visa free. So I know some of it might be like, oh my God, now I'm even more confused. Reach out to me. I can help you along your journey, help you figure things out. Go on my Calendly and schedule some time with me, and we'll sit down and we could talk through what your plan is. I've had quite a few people actually do that, say, hey Ali, I want to go to a certain place, can you help me at least make sure that I'm doing the preliminary things that I need to do? All right, I'm not an official government person, but I can definitely at least steer you in the right direction so that you're getting, you know, the information that you need, or know where you need to go to get the information. All right, now let's get to the fun stuff, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys where I am. I'm in a place where the gods are of plenty, gods and goddesses, and people are amazing here. Think feta with honey and walnuts, or honey and sesame seeds. A place where olives are amazing, fleshy, where you can find an olive tree on the street, where there is wine growing everywhere, where pistachios are originate, not necessarily originate, but for this region, and are of plenty, where you can see the goddess temples at the peaks of the mountains from almost anywhere in the city, where there are over 200 livable islands out of over 300, maybe even more islands in the country. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. So if you guys know, I was just here. I was literally just here 2 weeks ago. Well, I came through, well, and actually I was here in September. So it's technically my 3rd time in the last 3 months that I've been here in Greece. So obviously I like it. And I will tell you that I was pleasantly surprised, because I was not sure. It was one of those places I was like, yeah, I'll go. If I go, I go. But since I'm so close, I was in Albania here. I don't know if you guys can see that down here. Make sure I'm in the right country. Yeah, so this is Albania here, and this is Greece, where Athens is. This is Crete. This is Turkey. Romania. So you got North Macedonia, Serbia, I believe is here, I believe. Bulgaria, yeah. Okay, all of that, right? So all of these islands in here are Greek islands. All of them, from here all the way around. Mykonos, Santorini are in here, sprinkled over here somewhere. And that's where most people go. But anyway, I had an opportunity to pop over here, and immediately was very happy with the experience and the interaction that I had with the people, and the landscape and the options and the ability to travel around. So one of the things I think Greece is amazing in is boat travel. You can pretty much go everywhere on a ferry. When I was in Italy is amazing for bus and train travel. They also have ferries everywhere as well, but because Italy is like pretty much a full country with a couple of islands that you can go to, it's so easy to move around by train. So they got that on lock. Greece has the ferry situation on lock. And it is a place where it's just filled with amazing structures and architecture and art, food, people, and as you start to walk around and meet people and talk to people and just look at different things, as I've traveled a number of different places, I start connecting dots. So then we're in Italy, we go down to Sicily, and I see things that look just like the Pantheon and Acropolis and Zeus's house in Italy and Sicily. Like if you go to Pompeii, if you go to Sicily, they have all these places, and people will tell you, oh yeah, they were Greek. If you go to Sicily, there's underground cities, where the city used to sit before it was, they had earthquakes and mudslides that covered the cities, and then they built the cities on top of them. I mean, it's phenomenal information. If you're into that kind of thing, it's awesome to hear and to see. And then you start thinking, you start putting things together, and you see the collaboration of lifestyles and culture between the Balkans and Greece and Italy and even Cyprus and Egypt and all of these, and North Africa and stuff like that. And it just, for me, it started to put things in a whole different perspective, and I'm just enthralled by it. And this actually is a book that our host has, and I love pictures, y'all. Pictures make things so much easier to kind of, for me, register what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. And I can tell you that this was probably one of the best decisions. So much of a good decision for me. As I kind of make my plans and move around, I've decided to stay in Greece for another month, because I got to count my days. Remember, I got to count my days. And so we are going to traipse around a little bit more today. We've seen quite a bit, just walking, 16,000 steps a day. Everybody is walking. It's a walkable country here in Greece. And like I said, I mean, just be ready to eat. I'm going on a plan as soon as I touch down in my space that I'm going to stay in for a month. And I'm going to share all of that with you guys, because it'll be the first time I'm staying in that type of place for an entire month. So I'm interested to see how I'm going to fare in that type of situation. So, but I love it. I love the experience that I'm having here. It's actually really balmy today. Like I said, where I'm going, this is like the low temperature and kind of the high where I'm going. So I'm going to be in heaven. I'm excited. I probably can wear shorts again. My legs can be out. I can get some sun beating. When the sun is out, even if it's only 12, 13, 14, 15 Celsius, it's still really, really nice to be outside and out and about and grab a cappuccino or whatever. Meet some people. Y'all just talk to people. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody's fantastic. In Italy, it was the same, and it's a different vibe. You get a lot of history. You walk around and bam, there's some ruins over there. You could take a 15-minute train ride to some other ruins. And when I say ruins, the way they have preserved these cities is just amazing. I will be back in Italy, in the Naples area, to do the other half of Pompeii. Actually, I didn't even do half. We only did like 1/4 or 1/3 of Pompeii, because we really only had an hour. We got there 10 minutes before they shut the gates. So grateful for that. And it was raining. So I'll share even more of that, some of the footage, how beautiful it is. If you're interested in seeing some of the historical architecture and then tying it to what you see today, like how things have emerged, how have the synergies, the people come together, where's there's overlap and stuff. To me, it's just amazing. It's like a social experiment. But when you start to visit for yourself, you can kind of put things into perspective. And so, like I said, I've been in three European countries just the past 3 months. Yeah, since September. I don't know, September, October, November, December. So last 4 months. And in Albania, I stayed in Tirana, Durrës, Saranda. Greece, I've been in Corfu, Athens, Crete, and Aegina. Hope to check out, and I will be in one more in January. In Italy, I was in Pisa, Montieri, Florence, Naples, popped over to Pompeii. Bari, I stayed in, as well as Sicily. Anyway, my phone is overheating, so I'm going to cut this short so it doesn't cut off. You guys want more information? Tune back in. Follow me, subscribe, like, share, and I'll share more of my journey. And if you have any questions, like I said, shoot me a note in the comments. Send me a comment. More people will see the video, and I can share more with you. You guys, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all know the drill. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and thank you again for all the birthday wishes. Y'all know the drill. Toodles and noodles. Peace and hair grease. Thank you.